people, welcome back to the second show of Citizen Mayor. Well, a lot of things happened since the last time I was here. You know, we showed you all the clips of Monique and her God fallacy and all that. So we have a couple of answers for that. Now, I got something to say about that. Mayors should be mentally competent and not force their God fallacies on the citizens and the council, because we're taxpayers, by proselytizing their religion into city legislation, paid for, once again, with tax dollars. Nor should a mayor incite militant racism. Shouldn't do that. It's not very nice. And mayors should not be a threat to city security. You already know what the FBI says, that mayors are a threat to national security. There's a reason that they're saying that, people. They are a threat to national security. Mayors of these days, whoa. We're fixing to show you a clip from right here in our area. The mayor of Taylor, Michigan. This man stole every house in the city under the tax reversion. Anything that was vacant, he sold every one of them to his friend, one friend, him and the department manager of Taylor. Every one of them. When the FBI raided him, he had $209,000 in the sock drawer. Roll that clip of the mayor of Taylor, Michigan. Please roll that.
And developing right now, Taylor Mayor Rick Sollers indicted on multiple counts, including fraud and bribery and an alleged kickback scheme.
Sollers is accused of steering real estate deals on foreclosed properties and getting kickbacks in return.
Yeah, we want to get to Sean Lay, who was in federal court when he went before a judge, Sean.
Went before a judge moments ago, pled not guilty, but right outside just moments ago, Kimberly, I asked the mayor if he plans on resigning. He says no, but the U.S. attorney is calling this corruption at the highest levels of the Taylor government system here, and alleging that $30,000 worth of improvements was made to the mayor's home, along with $12,000 worth of improvements to his lake house, all for allegedly funneling city business to a businessman.
I've said it from day one, I'm innocent. I look forward to clearing my name and putting this behind me and getting back to doing the good work for the residents of the city of Taylor.
Taylor Mayor Rick Sollers appearing in federal court just moments ago after the feds charged him today in a massive 33-count indictment accusing the mayor of bribery. The shoe finally dropping on a case that began months ago when federal authorities raided the mayor's home and took a long look at his lake house up north. The result, charges that the mayor allegedly sent co-conspirator, local real estate businessman Shadi Awad massive amounts of city business in exchange for Awad allegedly making tens of thousands of dollars in renovations to both of the mayor's homes.
But again, I'm innocent, and I look forward to putting this behind me. This has been a distraction for 10 months, and if it has to get better, or if it has to get worse before it gets better, then I look forward to that, and we're ready to take the challenge on, and we'll deal with it in court.
Also in court today, that businessman Shadi Awad, he pled not guilty. In court tomorrow, Taylor Community Development Director Jeffrey Baum, he's also charged in this with allegedly committing wire fraud. The feds say he and the mayor took for personal use allegedly $200,000 from the mayor's campaign fund and $206,000. The feds say the indictment reads, guys, $206,000 in cash found in the mayor's home. We asked the mayor if he's resigning. He said no. We also got a few more questions in. We'll hear much more from the mayor coming up at 6 o'clock. Back to you.
Yeah, before you go, Sean, I understand text messages actually play a big role in this case against the mayor. Talk a little bit about that.
Huge role in this. One text really stands out. We're talking about the businessman Shadi Awad urging a contractor to finish one of these upgrade renovation jobs, saying you've got to get it done. He says, quote, my relationship with the mayor is worth $1 million. We asked the mayor about that just a few minutes ago. He'll respond at 6.
Yeah, we'll look forward to your report then. Sean, thanks.
Hey, you see what I mean? And then he started talking about, I'm innocent. I don't know why the FBI couldn't over here bother me. Just because I had $209,000 in my sock drawer and gave all the houses to my friends. I mean, and then they crazy, okay? These mayors do that, the crazy. And he's not the only one. There's another one. Dearborn Heights Mayor Paletko. Almost the same story. And he does not want an audit. A regular audit, a forensic, none of them. So the city council went to court and got a court order to make the mayor do these things. And that's what I be telling you guys. That's why I don't like the city of East Point. I don't know who did it, but this business where the mayor and the city council working together as a unit, where the mayor tells the city council what to do and do motions. You can get in trouble like that. That's probably how that Rizzo stuff happened. But, you know, a lot of people went down. So that's why I don't like it. So what we're going to do now, let me see. I'm going to tell you a couple other things that happened after this mayor mess. I went to the State Department and I got some information on what's happening in the city of East Point. It appears they could be in violation of Section 10, Article 4, and legislative conflicts of interest. The same as they could be in violation of the incompatibility of public offices. See, that's incompatible for a mayor to be telling the darn city council what to do, when sometimes the city council have to sue the mayors and vice versa. But if the mayor's doing the whole thing, well, then you might as well get rid of one of them, and we'll discuss that later. So what we're going to do, we're going to go to, we had another clip for you. We're going to go to another clip that shows you the reason why we don't want Mayor Owens bringing God to the dais. We're going to show you this. Roll that clip of the sovereigns. You got people in our nation who do the same thing. They use God as a crutch. Roll that clip about the sovereigns, and I'll tell them about it later.
Help! Help! I do not consent! I do not consent!
Confrontations with cops.
I am asking him for his supervisor.
It's what these people have come to expect.
And it is not a crime for me to travel without a license.
When they don't follow the law.
I'm giving you a lawful order.
Sometimes police get so frustrated, these confrontations become violent.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. This is assault. This is assault. I do not consent.
In this climate of government distrust, those in defiance are staging a new rallying cry to stand up for what they believe is rightfully theirs.
But I do not need a license or identification at any time. This is America, right? Well, I'm going to place you under arrest. No, you need to read that before you violate my law.
That's the voice of Trent Goodbody.
It's about doing the right thing.
He's what some might call a modern-day sovereign citizen, but he doesn't like that title.
God is my authority, and he is the only sovereign there is.
Goodbody, a Riverside resident, believes there's too much regulation in government. So he's taken his fight to the road, where all of us spend a lot of time. But Goodbody travels without registration, without a license, and without insurance.
Insurance is a scam.
Knowing police will pull him over,
A couple cameras already running.
he's ready with a camera.
Okay, do you have any identification on you? No, I don't carry identification. I follow God's law. You know about God? How he gave us this planet in the Bible? Dominion over this planet?
Goodbody posts all his run-ins with the law on his YouTube channel, Freedom from Government.
Oh, I talk a great fight in court. You watch, bro. You watch.
His videos have racked up more than 18 million views. And now he's even selling what he uses in lieu of a license plate.
These are the tags I use. I'm about to go through Las Vegas right now with them.
The tag reads private, not for commerce use. Private mode of travel. And you can guess, that gets the attention of cops on the road.
Are you recording me? Yes.
If a cop came up to me and asked me for my license, registration, and insurance, I would ask him if he's planning on using any of those against me in court.
Because Goodbody believes in his right to travel freely, he doesn't think he's breaking any laws. And he doesn't need to prove himself to police either. Here's audio from a confrontation in Orange County that he recorded.
I don't think that you need to know who I am. Who are you? Can you give me your full legal name? You guys want something out of me? You gotta give me the same thing, same respect. You know what I mean?
Not really, no.
Why?
Because it's different for us.
All men are equal under the law. Is that not true?
Goodbody isn't the only follower of this growing movement.
I've complied as much as I need to.
There are thousands of people with similar beliefs all across the country. Defying the law
I don't consent to anything.
and posting their own confrontations online.
Are you assaulting me? Are you assaulting me? You're assaulting me. Help me. Help me. What crime have I committed?
I think that there's been a major awakening in consciousness. And I can't explain why. I just feel like people are finally coming out of their fog.
It's impossible to know how many like-minded people there are across the country because there's no centralized leadership.
Whoa. Get out now.
The Southern Poverty Law Center, that would classify them as sovereign, says the movement has been growing at a fast pace since 2000.
Learning to privilege, not a right.
Some estimates put numbers at several 100,000 to 500,000 people.
You want to push the limit? I'm not trying to push the limit.
I feel like the police have been misinformed to go out and generate revenue off of the people they're supposed to be protecting and serving.
You might be surprised to hear Goodbody isn't anti-government. He doesn't support building a wall because that would represent government restricting people's travel.
We didn't make this land. We came here, we invaded it just like anybody else would.
He just wants to be free with what he views as his natural-born rights.
As long as I'm not doing any harm or causing any property damage, I should be able to do what I want. It's America, it's supposed to be a free country.
But until the rules of the road change,
Really, all we need is 1 million people to do the same thing and get out here and travel and know how to talk to the cops. We would be a force to be reckoned with.
Goodbody and those who agree with him will continue their battle.
I do not consent.
Armed with their cameras and ready to document what they see as government abuse.
This is thuggery. What the hell is going on? What the hell is going on?
Goodbody knows what he does comes with great risk. He has been arrested several times and has served short stints in jail. Luckily, he says he hasn't been in any major accidents, but he says if he was, he would pay out of his pocket for any damage.
Well, Christine, he makes money by selling his license plates and working as a reverend. While he doesn't believe in carrying a license or insurance, he does believe in following the rules of the road. And apparently very important that they videotape everything because we saw lots of that tonight.
A bit of a following there.
Hey, people, you see what I mean? They're crazy. These are half religious and half crazy. You got some more, they're the Black Moors. They say it's their religion and all of this stuff. They don't have to pay taxes. They don't have to have driver's license. They don't have to have nothing that we have. They say that God gave them this to travel and do as they please. And you heard Goodbody quoting the Bible and all that, but they're wrong. God says, follow the law of the land, okay? Each land you go into, you got to conform to what they do. So they're lying. Their minds are all screwed up about God saying that they can go and do what they want to do and beat up the police. Oh, no, you can't do that. Then the Constitution tell you the same story in Amendment number 10. It says anything not written or delegated to the United States belongs to each state respectively and the people. That's what it says. So it is the state who's control. They control traffic laws for their state, not for other states. They can be different. Then another thing we're going to have to look at, since they say it might be 1 million of them, we may have to have Congress to declare them as domestic terrorists, the sovereigns and the Moors, because they will shoot a police. Oh, that's going to be coming up on Gangster of the Constitution. I should be bringing that in February. You're going to see a real live police shootout. If YouTube don't take it from you, some things they will let you do. But I'm trying to show it to you. It's all kinds of things happening. So that's why we can't let Black Mayor Monique Owens proselytize from a legislative dais is saying I'm black and so I can do anything. So what are you trying to say? God only helps black people? Oh, come on. So, hey, let's watch her again. Let's see what Monique had to say.
The lady has a history past as well and did a lot for the community. Yeah. I think you should share that same empowerment and encouragement with me as well.
Well, I think your picture should be up there right away too. You're the current mayor, so
absolutely.
Your picture would be the last one on the right-hand side.
Absolutely.
Right?
And also, some of these things that I've said are done I talked to the mayor of St. Clair Shores. He has his picture up there so people and residents can know who their mayor looks like and who it is that they're talking to and speaking with so they can feel comfortable, because there's a lot of people who don't know who their mayor and people who represent them. And they also have it in Roseville, in Mount Clemens, and other cities that are around here. And I don't see why that should be a problem for people to let people know who their elected officials are, and you guys should be proud. I work very hard to be here, and I do a lot of work for this community. You guys should be proud of me, and you should want to see that. Next is, after, because these are about me, and then I'll let you guys talk. So none of these things are not unaffordable. We already have the car, no issue. We have the room, no issue. The pictures are something that should be done. That should not be an issue. I wish it was that many people in here when we talked about the kids and the fire, the things being stolen, people being hurt. I wish we had these many people in here, but you guys came in here to talk about pictures and cars being used that we already have because of your new mayor. I can tell you line items of the things that I've done as a councilwoman, and I can tell you line items of things I have done before I was a councilwoman, and money I spent out of my own pocket. I know how much we get paid, and you should too, if you did your research. So and I can have many directors and also council know that I come in here daily. Sometimes Mr. Cotton knows I'm here. Right, Mr. Cotton? I need you to talk. I gotta hear you.
I have a lot to say, but
please come up. I want you to say a lot. Please come up. I have went to the director and sat with you many days, haven't I? And I've also talked to Chief Sage, and I've also talked with Mr. Fairbrother, and I also try to talk to Mr. Blum when he's not back there being so busy, like I did today. So I spent a lot of time, energy away from my children, my husband, my friends and family to serve you, just like I did when I was a police officer, giving my life for people I don't know. So I would love you guys to respect me for doing that first and foremost, putting my life on the line as an officer first. And as some of you in here, as pastors and ministers, to pray more for me, be there for me more as your leader, because that's what I am. Some of you didn't elect me, you wasn't supposed to. God did. And you cannot move me because you can't, unless you talk to him first. So instead of coming here and crowding up this place with silly things, research what I've done. Help me with that. I did a book bag drive that served 200 kids and fed them. Nobody in here showed up. In our own community, with my own money, to feed kids. I go outside of here to help human trafficking and give. Where were you? I was there. So if I ask for a card that we already have to make sure your kids are safe, to make sure the research is done. I'm not getting paid for that. I don't want your money. I didn't do this for money. I did this to give people hope. That's why these seats are being filled more than ever with people that don't look like the normal people that used to be here. So you can go on your Facebook pages. You can do all that stuff behind my back. But I'm going to continue to serve the community like I've always been doing. Whether I get any of these items or not, I'm going to still serve. That's my purpose. That's what God selected me to do. So if you have a problem with me being up here, talk to him about it, because he did it.
Now you heard that. She kind of sound a little insane, just like the rest of them. And my thing is, if she really believes what she said, she should not be sitting on an elected dais, because you just simply can't do that. And the city of East Point is supposed to make sure that all of their public employees are mentally stable. And you see why I'm worried about it. If you saw Goodbody and the Sovereigns, I'll bring you some more later. Do you see how violent them people are? I don't know whether they're going to bust up in the city council with doing that. I do know she's bringing in the militants from Detroit and where else? Warren, Michigan, and I forgot the other place, Clinton Township. Well, that's enough. She brought them in. So I am really concerned about this entire situation that Monique has done. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to read to you some of the things that the State Department, I had discussions with them, and believe me, 2 or 3 days, and it came down to a few things that they said that I need to tell the citizens of East Point that you need to do if you want to stop this. It's not going to stop by itself. Oh, it's going to get worse. So, how much time do I have there, Director? Well, good. I got enough time to read it. Here's what the gist of it is. They said that the city of East Point needs to have a special hearing or town hall or council meeting, whatever you want to call it, to discuss all these issues and discuss ways to move into 2020, because they're claiming that the city charter is what's doing this thing about them together stuff. Well, from what I heard, that's 80 or 90 years old. That's back when people was actually nice. You didn't have computers where you just moved some numbers around and steal everybody's money. So we have got to start all over again. That's basically what they were saying. And this meeting is not supposed to be presided over by anybody on the council or the mayor. It should be the city manager. El Kidum. Council, the mayor sits somewhere else on beside her. She should be the one chairing this meeting, because it's a conflict of interest for either one to do it. For them. You remember MCL 318, Section 10, Article 4, legislative conflict of interest and incompatible public offices. You got 2 of them that's supposed to work against each other, so neither one can do it. But we do have a competent city manager. Here's some of the things they say we're supposed to do. A, we're supposed to have a discussion on establishing an autonomous city council and mayor independent of each other. B, we need to have a discussion on establishing a 5-member council with 1 at-large council meeting. C, discussion on establishing a city council president that sets the agenda and private meeting, not mayors, not at the city council meeting. D, we need to discuss establishing what the mayor actually does, often duty, because the way they're doing it's not right. E, we need a discussion on establishing the city manager. Listen to me carefully. The city manager and council as the government and eliminate mayors. They're doing it all over the country. No mayors, just a city manager and a council. F, discussion on establishing an elected city clerk to govern all election procedures and duties and offices. A discussion on establishing ward voting, like I told you. H, discussion on ballot initiatives and referendum to establish changes, not where the mayor whispered to the city, That's how we got put under that $1 million bond. That's how it happened. Here's what to do if they don't want to do nothing for us. A discussion on recall. When elected officials refuse to adhere to the needs of citizens. That's what the people at the State Department said, and they weren't trying to be fancy or mean or rude. They talk just like us. They said, well, shoot, if they don't do what you want to, just throw them out. That's practically what they said. They said that's your only choice because we can't afford to sue them every time they do something to us. We have to pay their legal fees and ours. So what their recommendation, just throw them out. That's what they said, these people. And how do you do it? You get the number of signatures needed to recall. 1,334 signatures. We can throw all of them off, or anybody that gets smart, 90 days after the election. So in a couple of weeks, we can start throwing people off the doggone dais. And since it's only 1,334 signatures, if 100 people do 20 signatures, we're there. If 10 people do 200 signatures, we're there. Then we put them back on the ballot and see if they can get back on. If they get back on, they'll know, don't start, to be careful. And this is not just coming from me. I had to do a lot of research as a citizen mayor. Oh, the people just don't tell you stuff. And I know you can download stuff on the computer, but the computer is a machine. And it just said, well, it's all. If you really want to know what's happening, you got to find out who put that on the computer. That's what I did. And boy, those people love it because they don't get a chance to talk very much. And when you get someone on the phone who actually know what they're doing, they'll tell you, no, don't let them do it. I had such a great time. I think I got a couple more minutes left here to tell you a little bit more about it. And, because it's really very important that the citizens of East Point need to learn how to help themselves. Because you heard Monique saying, the makeup of the audience is different from what it used to be, not the same normal people. Also, is she saying black people are abnormal? I don't know which way she trying to say that. But you can't do that no way. Because she said, I'm trying to give people hope. You see what happened? The makeup is different of the people in here. It ain't the same. How you going to give people hope? Look, here's the way I feel about that before we close this short. Their mama and daddy knew they were black when they had them. Do you think that they made sure they had those kids in marriages? No. Most of them had the baby to get a darn welfare check. They didn't build the future for their children. The white people did. Let's face it. They didn't stop and just start using drugs every 15 minutes. They built miles and miles. So why are you mad at them? It was your mom and dad who did that to you. What they need to be doing especially in the churches, trying to get together with these people and get along. Because, see, back in my day, before they started all this drug and welfare mess, everybody got along. You could go to any church you wanted to. It was different. So that's what I got to say today to Monique Owens, while she right around here worried about being the first black mayor. What took you so long? 50 years, because they didn't want to come out here. And now you're trying to make like the white people were stopping, but that's not true. The white people have been gentrifying, and they built the new Detroit. That's what we used to call it that. And some people had enough money to move to New Detroit. All the ones who didn't have enough money, you'd be ducking and putting bars up your... We had bars around our butt to go to the store. Because them drug dealers, and them people on them drugs, whoa, you would be in trouble. So we couldn't go to the... It took me, 50 years to get back home to the New Detroit. So that's what I got to say to you today. Leave the white people alone. Start being glad somebody built something, because let's face it, Kwame, Mayor Young, anywhere you go in America, if it's a black leadership, it's raggedy, and our black people are sleeping on the street in squalor and disease, while they bring all the illegals in and put them in brand new cars, brand new apartments that belongs to us, the American people. So that's what I got to say today. We need 1,334 signatures to start throwing people out. So that's what I got to say to Monique, who said, you can't move me unless you contact God. I went to the city hall to see God, and he wasn't there. They say he don't have a department. See, she got no documents. I actually went to the city hall, and I said, I want to see God. And some man came out playing, talking about, I'm God. I said, man, let me see your credentials. So everything that she's telling you to do is fraud. Because when you go to the city hall, God don't have no documents. So that's it for today. She better leave God alone. That's all I got to say. See you next time.